Okay, just for information, initially when I got the invitation from Bodhisattvas about this teaching, I was just wondering what kind of audience. So therefore, I sent the information that the morning sessions, meaning morning 5:45 till 8 session, that's going to be skipped. And now I see that there are many from Nanda studies, therefore in Nanda studies, and also from others also who are interested. The morning session, 5:45 till 8, that is primarily meant for people to design their daily practice and how to take it forward. That's what we're studying, and those from the studies, you know, finally was the purpose of all these classes. So to design this daily practice for the individuals, what we practice, the morning this session is designed just for that purpose. So therefore, from tomorrow, we have just another 4 or 5 days. So from tomorrow we'll have the morning session, and it's optional. So anybody who is interested to do the morning session, that is for us to learn to do the practice. Meaning, for example, say how to practice compassion, or how to practice single point meditation, and how to practice the wisdom of emptiness, and finally, how to take the dose of practice on a daily basis, that eventually we see that you are growing. Otherwise, these classes, for some people, it's just introduction, and for others, for people who are more senior, they want something concrete for them to carry forward. So therefore, from tomorrow, we're going to have this morning session, 5:45. We come here, and then as I said earlier, it's optional. So don't feel compulsion. It's optional. If you're interested to learn what the practice is like, you can join us. We'll do this practice. And many people, this is why I'm doing this, is that many people the retreat is a little short. Others in most places, it's 10-day program, quite intense. And with the people after attending this 10-day program, then one question that comes so often is that, how should we take it forward, this practice? How should we practice it on a daily basis? So the morning practice is designed just for that purpose. Okay, so with this in mind, let us turn to the text, the blaze of non-dual Bodhisattvas. Okay, let us turn to page 6, page 3, I think. Okay. Setting a proper motivation. Refuge field, visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the enlightened masters who you see as a source of inspiration for you, inspiration in terms of compassion, in terms of wisdom, and so forth. For some people, it can be like Lord Ram, for some can be like Krishna, for some can be like Prophet Muhammad, for some Lord Mahavir, Guru Nanak, Jesus Christ, or the Buddha, and so forth. So whoever you see as a source of inspiration, of compassion, of wisdom. Just think of that. And how you visualize them, visualize them as very loving, caring, and embracing. And also, for the Bodhisattva field, visualize your two grandparents on the two sides. And all the dear mother sentient beings living on the sides, even including tiny insects, and the goddesses, the human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, spirits, all the living beings who aspire for happiness and who want to shun miseries. Just visualize them and imagine that you are like a very matured person, extremely compassionate, like a mother, and all others are like children who are, so like young children who do not know anything, and you're guiding them. So with this mind, let's turn to page 3. And to your great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha, would I pay homage. And to your great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha, I pay homage. And to your great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha, I pay homage. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye choda zoge chonam loi chanchu padu dani gyabso che dage jinso kebe sonam ye chola benjire sanye dubarai shom. Sanye choda zoge chonam loi chanchu padu dani gyabso che Dage jinso kebe sonam ye dola benjire sanye dubarai shom. Sanye joda zoge jonam lai chanchu bardo dane gyabso che. Dage jinso kebe sonam ye dola benjire sanye dubarai shom. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme of all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification and complete peace, which through the knowledge of past causes or subject migrates to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue its amount of variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teachers who guard and protect to your prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha, amid restorations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava desham dathagato hyavatat desham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramana swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat desham chayo nirodha Evamati Mahashramanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Niroda Evam Bhati Mahashramanaye Swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar of Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, and in silence I'll return to words. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space, is the object apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times of the obeisance. The four seals of Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending soul is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, and likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is also everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred with them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. Instruction on parting from the four attachments. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Okay, let us turn to page 29, Heart Sutra Mantra. 31, page 31. Okay, why not we recite the Heart Sutra itself? Page 29, and because that this is good auspicious, page 29, page 29. Okay, Heart Sutra. Let me give you a quick overview of the Heart Sutra. In fact, you refer to any sources, the teachings given by the Buddha himself and the commentaries by the Indian masters. There's always a mention of the wisdom. Who was that? The last time Leon said wisdom. So there's a tremendous emphasis on the wisdom, the need for us to cultivate the wisdom, and where the Buddha gave a very beautiful metaphor that even if you have extremely bright eyes, but if you don't have the light, you will not see what is around you. Likewise, even though you have an extremely greatly intelligent mind, but without the correct information, without the correct teachings, you will not know the reality. Without knowing the reality, this is ignorance. With ignorance, you are doomed to suffer. This is samsara. So the wisdom is greatly emphasized, and of all the teachings of the wisdom the Buddha gave, they all fall under the category of what is known as the second turning of the wheel of Dharma, which I will briefly touch later on. A second turn of the wheel of Dharma, which is primarily on discovering what the reality is. And from these there are huge volumes of teachings on the wisdom. And the Heart Sutra is essence, heart here, has a connotation of being the essence of all these, what the Buddha taught and wisdom. This is what you find here. And interestingly, the Heart Sutra, this is in the form of a dialogue. The Buddha presided over the gathering in Rajgir. And how many have been to the Vulture's Peak, Rajgir? Raise your hands. How many been to Rajgir, Vulture's Peak? And how many of you have not been there? Raise your hands. Okay, so if you've not been there, what I would suggest is that later, whenever you get time, it would be good to visit all the places where the Buddha became enlightened, Buddha turned the wheel of Dharma, and then the first turning, which is the Varanasi, and the second turning, which is Vulture's Peak. If you can go there, and these places, they're extremely blessed, and particularly if you get a little bit of understanding of the wisdom, how what I'm seeing, what you are seeing is not the reality. What you're seeing is like the dream. It's not the real. So if you know this and then you go there, that was so good. Usually that all the Buddhist, the countries outside more the Buddhist practitioners, they tend to go to these holy sites to leave special imprint in the mind. And what we suggest is that how the people is all out of their faith, devotion, that they go there. And how many of them really are able to extract the greatest purpose, the greatest meaning of being there? For example, like under the Bodhi tree where the Buddha became enlightened. And if you know what is the Heart Sutra, Emptiness a little bit, then the question is, why is this place very important that millions come every year to receive blessings? Why this place is so important? This is a question. Oftentimes we just take for granted. Now you can ask this question, why this place is very important? Because Prince Siddhartha attained enlightenment under this tree, sitting on this seat. So why is enlightenment important? This is the next question. Why enlightenment important? That anybody now come to receive blessings from this seed and the tree under which the Buddha sat. Why the enlightenment is important? Because this enlightenment allows the person be freed from all the miseries and endowed with the infinite happiness, and to allow the person to share this wisdom with all other beings. That becomes very precious. That's so precious. Okay, so what was he doing under this tree? This is the next question. What was he doing under the tree? Oh, what was he doing? He's just idly sitting and then is blessed? Or he's doing something? Yes, of course he's doing something. Doing what? Doing to cleanse the mental defilements, where the Buddha nature inside becomes manifest. So what is exactly doing? What was he doing to cleanse the mental defilements? He was meditating on the wisdom. What is the wisdom? Wisdom is the discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. What is the reality? The reality is what you find explained in the Heart Sutra. So therefore, if you understand the Heart Sutra so well, going there, your pilgrimage is going to be very different. Extremely meaningful, where others would put a lot of effort there, and the merit accumulated is X amount, and you go there just within a short span of time, what others would take like 10 days, 20 days, 100 days to accumulate that amount of the merit, and you go there just for like few minutes, few seconds. You think about emptiness, this is exactly what the Buddha is meditating. You do that, and the merit accumulated is going to be like X multiplied by 1,000,000 times. So therefore, the wise people, it is said that the wise people, because of they know how to do things, they'll make things which are otherwise very difficult for the ordinary people, they can do it very quickly, very easily. Okay, so this is Heart Sutra. So here on the overview of the Heart Sutra is that first the background is given, background where the Buddha was presiding over the congregation, the meeting, congregation, and then Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva compassion is on one side, and Shariputra is on the other side, and all the monks, nuns, lay devotees, bodhisattvas, they're all there. And Buddha went into the meditation on emptiness, the wisdom. So while the Buddha was absorbed in the meditation on emptiness, so when you become a Buddha, anybody becomes a Buddha, you have the capacity to be in the two worlds simultaneously. Two worlds, meaning the world of the conventional truth and the world of the ultimate truth. So we talk about the two truths. Of course, we'll discuss this later, the two truths. Whereas for people like us who are unenlightened, unenlightened yet, for us, when we're in the world of the conventional truth, we don't have direct access to the world of ultimate truth. When we're in the world of ultimate truth, we don't have direct access to the world of conventional truth. So these two should be consecutive. Whereas for when you become a Buddha, when anybody becomes a Buddha, at that point you can have direct access to the two worlds, two realities simultaneously. So the Buddha was well immersed in the meditation of emptiness. Meanwhile, given that he has direct access to the conventional truth, he then inspired and blessed Shariputra to stand up and ask question to Avalokiteshvara. And all the people in the audience, they were just seeing the Buddha submerged in meditation, but Shariputra could sense this is what the Buddha is indicating. So he stood up, made prostration to the Buddha, and then turned to Avalokiteshvara and asked a question. Okay, this is the background. Now the next is, what are the things that we need to remember when we recite Heart Sutra? 3 points. 1. What was the question asked by Shariputra to Avalokiteshvara? Let me repeat it. 1. What was the question asked by Shariputra to Avalokiteshvara? Number 1. Number 2. What response Avalokiteshvara gave to Shariputra? Number 2. Number 3. What is the benefit if we practice the wisdom as taught by Avalokiteshvara in response to the question by Shariputra? Let me repeat it. What is the question asked by Shariputra? Number 2. What is the response given by Avalokiteshvara to Shariputra? And number 3. What benefit we get if we practice the as taught by Avalokiteshvara in response to the question by Shariputra. So these are three things we are not amiss as we recite every time we recite the Heart Sutra. So let me quickly share with you what each of these 3 points are. The first, and what is the question asked by Shariputra? The question the Shariputra asked is, how should the child of a lineage practice the perfection of wisdom? Let me repeat it. The question asked by Shariputra is, how should a child of the lineage practice the perfection of wisdom? Is the question asked. Okay. So, the child of the, and oftentimes translators, some translators, they translate it as, how should a son of the lineage practice the perfection of wisdom? So this is not a good translation. Instead of son, it should be child, because that it is not confined to the males. It is applicable for both males and females. So the problem of the translator is that the translator thinks that pu means sons or the boys. This is the too narrow understanding, very narrow understanding. The word is the pu in Tibetan, the pu is applicable to both. Pupo means male child, pumo is the female child. So pu is a common word for the males and females. It's not that the pu should be confined to the males, but generally speaking, in a vernacular sense, we say pu is for the males as a shortcut of the pupo. Otherwise, in a strict sense, pu is a common word for the males and females. So the better translation should be this child of a lineage. And if you see that in future, if you do see that there are translations with saying that how should the son of the lineage practice the Professional wisdom, you can just outrightly say, you can confidently say that this is not a good translation. This is a reality. Okay, so with this in mind, so how should a child of a lineage, and you may be wondering, what is meant by lineage, child of a lineage? In the olden times, like say 1,000 years, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, the prince, particularly the prince in those days, the boy of the son of the king is considered very important. Why? Anyone? Son of the king is considered very important. Why? Anyone?
Because he's the heir to the throne.
He's the heir to the throne. Then he's going to become the king, the next king. So here, the child of the lineage is the lineage of the kings and the lineage of the Buddhas. Which is more important? Lineage of Buddhas, of course. The lineage of king, at the most, one can help the people, the citizens, one's own country or the kingdom. That's it. And even that is questionable. But lineage of the king, lineage of the Buddhas, no doubt will benefit all the beings, not only a small fraction of the land, but all the beings, human beings, animals, insects, hungers, everyone. So the lineage of the Buddhas is the most important lineage. And how many of you are lineage, how many of us here is a lineage holder of the kings? Raise hands. No one, including me, no. Okay, never mind. So we can be the lineage holder of the Buddhas. The best of the lineages is the lineage of the Buddhas. We can be the lineage holder of the Buddhas. When does one become the lineage holder of the Buddhas? Is that when you make the commitment, then may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. When you make this commitment, just as a prince is the heir to the throne, you are the heir to the Buddhas. To become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. When you make this commitment wholeheartedly, automatically you become the lineage holder of the Buddhas. You become the lineage, the holder of the best of the lineages, which is the lineage of the Buddhas. So, lineage of the Buddhas, the holder of the lineage of the Buddhas, you have a responsibility. Because when you said that, may I become Buddha, only when you commit yourself to this commitment, then you become the lineage, the child of the lineage. And then you become Buddha means you have to do something to become Buddha. Just by saying, may I become Buddha, will not make you become Buddha. You have to do something. What should we do? You have to remove the mental defilements so that the hidden treasure inside will manifest in the form of full Buddhahood. So, what should you do to remove the mental defilements? Anyone? What should you do to remove the mental defilements?
Accumulate merit.
Accumulate merit. Anyone? Okay, to prove that you attended yesterday's class. Huh?
Remove muds. Apply the antidotes.
Remove muds, apply antidotes, cultivate knowledge, cultivate the wisdom of emptiness. All are correct. All are correct. Remove the mud. How to remove the mud? By applying the antidotes. What kind of antidotes are applied? The wisdom of emptiness. So all of what is said makes it complete. You're getting it? So our job is to practice the wisdom of emptiness to remove all the mental defilements. Okay. So what is the wisdom of emptiness? To practice this, we have to first know what the wisdom of emptiness is. So the question asked by Shariputra is, how should the child of a lineage practice the perfection of wisdom? You're getting it? This is a question asked. Look, this is extremely coherent and extremely relevant to our being. This is amazing. This is a great treasure. The next. So question asks, what is the next point not to miss? What is the response given by Aravalogateshvara to the question by Shariputra? So response given is, then Aravalogateshvara explained in great detail. What? Don't stay in the dream. You're getting it? If you stay in the dream, if you continue to sleep, the dream will dictate you. You will lose your freedom. Okay. Let's say that so we have let's say that, okay, by the way, last night, how many of you had good dreams? Really pleasant dream. Okay. Vigraj, yes, good dream. What about the retreat attendance? Good dream? Leon? Yes. Very auspicious dream, flying in the air? Okay. Joshua? Okay. Good. So let's say that, let's say you have a very pleasant dream where, say, the Vigraj is telling us, okay, so we will, after this retreat, anybody who's interested, I'll take you to have audience with His Holiness the Dalai Lama in the dream. And Vigraj is taking us all there. And then His Holiness, we then sought blessings from His Holiness. Then His Holiness tells Vigraj, why don't all the people have a cup of tea with me? You're happy? Very happy. Okay. So it's a very auspicious dream. And then you had the tea with His Holiness. Coming back, okay, don't take it as a bad omen, landslide, and your bus, right? I'm dead. When you say I'm dead, right? Your roommate wakes you up, right? Okay, so you feel so relieved. Tell me, say, the first dream, extremely pleasant dream. Second part, very scary dream. These two dreams, there are many things in common. There are many things in common. What are the commonalities between these two dreams? Anyone? Anyone? There are many commonalities. There's no wrong and right answer. Anyone quick? Huh? Both are not real. Very good. Anyone else? There are many commonalities. They're both not real. Anyone? Yes, Shuprato?
In both cases, I'm the observer. It's happening.
In both cases, you're observer or what?
I'm the observer. It's happening in my awareness.
Okay, in both cases, I'm observing in my own awareness what's happening. Very good. Number two. Number three, anyone else? Many things uncommon. Okay, Leon?
In both cases, the body is reacting to
In both cases,
the body is reacting to the dream.
the body is reacting to this stimulus of the dream. And Sonamla?
They both invoke the feeling of affliction, which is desirable and undesirable. They both invoke the feeling of affliction.
Oh, both invoke the feelings, desirable feelings, undesirable feelings. Very good. Both are subjective. Both are coming from. Both are wrong. Both are not true. Coming from the subject, and we see them as real. Anything else?
No independent existence.
There's no independent. What do you mean by no independent existence? Okay, it's not real. It's not real. It's not independently real. Very good. Okay, I know that there are many Narendra study students who like to say something, and for sure they will say correct things. Okay, by the way, there's no correct and wrong. Okay, Turinsola.
You don't have the control.
Okay, we don't have the control. Okay, this is very, very important, and based on this example of the dream, it's very important for us to get this conviction that that's very true. Say, for example, which of the two dreams, the first dream and the second dream, do you like to have? The first one, raise hands. The first dream. Okay. And who's going to have the first dream tonight? Who's going to have the first dream tonight? Young Jana, why not? Why not going to have this dream tonight? It's very pleasant. I don't have control. I don't have the freedom to choose the dream. And who decides the dream? Who decides the dream? Your sleep decides the dream. Sleep and the imprints decide the dream. You don't have the freedom to choose the dream. So, however pleasant the dream is, one thing which is common to all the dreams, generally speaking, not all the time, sometimes we have what is known as lucid dream, or we can call it as a REM sleep, where you're aware that you're dreaming, and then to some extent you can manage your dreams, you can control your dreams. Once in a while, generally speaking, dream is dream with no control. Oh, this is so important. So, however pleasant dream is, we have no control. We have no freedom to choose the dream. This is so important. Lack of freedom is misery. Let's not forget it. Okay. How many like cheesecake? And cheesecake, how many of you see it as lack of freedom? Say, okay, cheesecake. You say, no, I like it. It's so like you have the freedom to say, I like it or I don't like it. No, you don't have the freedom. Think of it very seriously. You don't have the freedom. Okay, how many will have cheesecake after 5 years? How many of you are just sure that you will have cheesecake after 5 years? Are you sure? Leon? So, next 5 years, you sign, no death? So, they say we can never be sure. To be very honest, even tomorrow we cannot really plan properly. But it can make us feel very, very gloomy, hopeless. Even tomorrow we cannot plan. But the reality is that, yes, we do plan something for tomorrow. Let us not be so negative. But for sure, 5 years, we cannot really plan. Where we will be, we have no idea. So, the point is that, however pleasant the dream is, the demerit is that we don't have the freedom to choose that. Lack of freedom is misery. Let's not forget it. But this is mind, they say, and who's that? Dorji? So Dorji said that both the dreams are coming from your mind, not from the object. Not from the object. This is so important. Okay, just pick up something and show that to me. Pick up something and show that to me. Pick up something and show that to me. Okay, now look at it yourself. Look at it yourself and see how it appears to you. That it is like a dream projected by your mind, or it appears so objectively real. Which way does it appear, Priyanka? So real. How many agree with the Priyanka? Raise hands. It appears so real. Okay, this is deceptive. But yesterday, this is what I've been telling you, sharing with you. When I say something, don't blindly follow this. Learn it. Don't reject it. Don't accept it. You getting it? Learn it. Okay, he said that what I'm seeing is so real. This is deceptive. Okay, this is new information. I never heard it before. Now I'd like to check it. You're getting it? Don't take it blindly. You must subject this to analysis. Don't reject it either. Don't accept it. Don't reject it. Keep it and subject it to analysis. Through analysis, if you're convinced that's very true, then accept it. And if you're 100% sure it's wrong, discard it. So this should be our approach. Finally, this is for our own well-being. You're getting it? What we said is that I want to find out what's the purpose of life. to get away from miseries and to expand, to experience the maximum happiness. This is the purpose of life. So with this in mind, if this realization helps me to remove my miseries and to expand my happiness, why not? I embrace it. Whereas if I sense it is wrong, if I'm dead sure it's wrong, and how can you be dead sure it is wrong? So you interact with other people who are otherwise claim to have understood this concept. You interact with these people, interact with them, ask them questions, and if you're dead sure that they don't have the answer, they get stuck. And you go to, if one person cannot give the answer, you go to second person, third person, fourth person, and then higher level in the hierarchy. Hierarchy meaning knowledge-wise. Someone who's very refined scholars in this particular tradition, and if you see that nobody has the good answer, you getting it? You reject it. Whereas, if you sense that, wow, this is amazing. For example, just say that your bus is toppling, right? And then so much fear. Now I'm dead. When you say I'm dead, then your mother wakes you up. What happens? The fear dissolves. Why the fear dissolves? Did you say, okay, now don't worry, it's not real, the real bus toppling is not, don't have no fear. You don't have to say this. The moment your mind cognizes that it was a dream, automatically the mind eases. The fear dissolves automatically. You getting it? So, this is where we come to know that this is dream. Instant the fear in the dream dissolves. So how does one know that it was dream? That it was just my mind. It's not real. The dream is not real. It's just my mind projecting it. The moment you realize it, automatically the mind behaves very calm. The fear dissolves. This is how the mind reacts automatically. You're getting it? So later on, okay, by the way, now for you, what was it? For today, tomorrow, and Sunday evening, for 3 days, we have the NIC class. And those of us from here, feel free to join us, even if you're not a part of this class, the Nalanda introductory course online. So those of us who are new to this, just feel free. Although it is strictly for the registered students, but those of us who attend this program, feel free to join us. And this is going to be online, and you're here, so the program happens here. And most likely in the next class, we're going to touch the Buddhist psychology, how the mind works. So what we are studying now, the moment you realize that the dream is subjectively, as Dorji said, subjectively arising, not objectively, and the lady there, your name? Yes. Sudipta. Okay. What is Sudipta just said? There's no independent reality. It's a dependent on your mind. When you realize this, then your mind behaves so calm and composed. You don't have to dictate to your mind, no, now be calm. You don't have to say, automatic mind will behave so calm and composed. Okay, so this is about the psychology. But first, not the Freudian psychology, not the Jungian psychology, it's a Buddhist psychology. And this I call as the empirical psychology. Empirical psychology, which means that I and you can experience. Sometimes they say some teachers, they teach something and then which is not at all apprehensible. The ordinary people cannot apprehend it. Whereas the psychology we are studying, this we inherited from the great Nalanda masters and finally taught by the Buddha himself. So we see that this is something which I and you can experience it. If we learn how to be skilled in observing your mind, you can experience it yourself. So therefore this is known as the empirical, something which we can empirically experience. Okay, so they say The question asked by Shariputra is, how should the child of the lineage practice perfection of wisdom? Then Aravalukateshvara went into great detail to explain how everything is like a dream. There's nothing for us to feel scared of. But when we see things as objectively real, not like a dream, as objectively real, fear invariably arises, even though somebody tells you that, oh, this is like a dream. But if you're not aware how it is like dream, the fear invariably arises. Whereas the moment you discover that this is, for example, in the dream, even if somebody comes, say, the lion is on the verge to pounce on you, and somebody says, hey, don't be scared, this is a dream. This is a dream. Still you are scared because you are not aware of this dream. You're getting it? How many of you had such experience where in the dream, somebody tells you that this is a dream, and then the say, okay, how many had such extreme? The dreams. In the dream where somebody tells you this dream. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Is there anybody who likes to share your experience? That somebody tells you that it's dream, in the dream? You want to share your story? Okay. What happened to me? What happened was that once when I was in my monastery, and there was a monastery in South India. By the way, how many of you have been to South India to see these big monastic institutions? 1, 2, 3, 4, and yes, Chalatrans, Songla 5, and Ajala, no? Okay, so what I would suggest is that in your life you must go there once, minimum once, you must go there. For example, like, okay, by the way, I don't know how applicable this is for the audience here. And some of you are applicable for this. In January 2026, we're going to conduct how many days? I think 11 days. A program on the wisdom of emptiness in South India, my monastery. And many people made the request since a long time ago. And finally accepted, and my teacher is still there. My teacher, who is now 93 years old. And I'm going to request my teacher to give teachings to the students. So we're expecting like 150 from the masters, so NMC 1, NMC 2, and NTC 5, and these are 5 students. The last 3 days. Okay, so but if you're interested, you can come there. You can. The thing is, it's not that if you're not registered, then you cannot come. This is not the case because that is a big institution. So there are so many people. It's not only this program. There are many other programs happening, and so meanwhile, yes, you can meet. They have audience blessings from my teacher, a brilliant psychologist, philosopher, logician, and incredibly enlightened master. My teacher. So we're going to have. So this is what I'm talking about. Okay. So having said this, they say when you see that everything is like dream. Okay. What I dreamt once. I had a dream where in the daytime I was constantly thinking about how everything is like a dream, how everything is coming from the subject. Things are all subjective. There's nothing objective. Constantly contemplating this, and in the dream, I had a dream of meeting with one of my seniors, many years seniors, amazing, highly learned, the great teacher, a great monk scholar, and he was sitting there, and I was telling him that, sir, you are part of my dream. This is what I was telling in the dream. Sir, you are part of my dream. And my senior, he was saying, are you sure I'm part of your dream? I said, yes. Then he started to punch me. punch me. So in my mind, I was very confident it's dream, but still when he was punching me, I was a little scared. Right? So he said that, see if it's dream or not. He starts to punch me. But then I just said, not moving away from him. I just sat there and he punched me, and then his fist went through my face. Went through my face, and no pain, lucky. No pain. I was sitting like this. Okay, I'm not scared. Don't be scared. This is dream. Okay, interesting. So anyone, you like to share your dream? Where somebody tells you, or you are telling somebody that this is you are part of my dream? Huh? Anyone? Yes, over there. Yes.
30 years ago, my mother expired. And day after, 3 days before, I dreamt that my mother is no more. My mother not, my friend's mother is no more. I explained my mother, she is that time alive. She told me, she shocked, ये क्या तुमने देख लिया? Your mother will not know more. She said. And 3 days later,
Oh, it's very prophetic. Very prophetic. It's like a prophecy. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, that's fine. So they say, if you know that things are like dream, the moment you discover it, not just intellectually, experientially, you got to feel that things are like dream. It's coming from a mind. The moment you discover that, your mind will instantly rest. Otherwise, being involuntary. Yesterday we discussed involuntary pull, which is involuntary pull, which is attachment. Involuntary push, aversion. So, involuntary pull and push happens in the dream. When you don't discover that you're dreaming. The moment you wake up, involuntary pull and push in the dream stops. So that is your mind rest. And that if that happens for good, upon waking up, that is the full awakening. This is known as your mind will then manifest its true nature. The Buddha nature manifests, and you experience total fearlessness and infinite happiness. You getting it? This is so precious. Okay, so Avalokiteshvara responded by explaining how everything is like a dream. Use yourself. Okay, let me quickly explain how. Say for example, okay, just pick up something which you really want to know how it is like dream. Something. Okay, Ajala, what's your name? Sirindramala. Sirindramala may pick her, son up, right? Because she feels the son is intrinsically real, right? Very loving son, yes, very loving son, objectively real. Okay, so you may pick up something which, and then Ajala, your name? Sinzinla. Sezin. Ajala Sinzinla may pick up Yangshin. Say, this is intrinsically real, she's intrinsically real, right? Intrinsically real daughter. So just think of something which makes you feel is so real. You getting it? And so, okay, just in your mind, think of something, okay, for the time being, say, pick up something that is next to you. Pick up something and look at it and see how it appears. As like a dream that your mind is projecting it, or is the object real? Just see how it appears. Object real, so real. Okay. Now let us just do this exercise as much as possible. Do you agree with me? Let us take it one step at a time. Let's say this flower. Let's say this flower, or many of you picked up the pen. So the pen, let's say, the pen, this is made of molecules. You agree? Yes? And molecules are too tiny, we cannot see the molecules with our naked eyes. You agree? And the molecules are made of atoms. You agree? And the atoms are made of electrons, protons, neutrons. You agree? And the electrons, protons, neutrons, and let's say the protons of your pen, protons which make the pen, and protons which makes my body, your body, table, house, the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, on the proton level, they are all just identical, same. You agree? On the electron level, they're all same. Neutron level, they're all same. Neutrinos, right? They're all just the same. But if you see that, they say, okay, let's say this flower is beautiful, not beautiful? Huh? Okay, so it seems like all of you realize emptiness, right? Not much difference. Okay, let's say it's very beautiful. Now, if you see the same object on the atomic level, imagine that you were seeing the atoms, electrons, say hydrogen, oxygen, carbon. Imagine that you are seeing the atoms. On the atomic level, which atom is beautiful, tell me? Atoms are beautiful? Not beautiful. Not the ugly? Not ugly. It's neutral. Let's say it's neutral. And now tell me on that level, where is this beautiful flower? Tell me where is this beautiful flower on that level, on the atomic level. Where is the beautiful flower? Okay, this is my question. Anyone? Where is the beautiful flower? Okay, you said this beautiful flower. They're beautiful. And where is this flower? You say that with your naked eyes, you say it's here, it's on the object. How many agree with me? Raise your hands. It's there, it's not my subjective, it's not like dream, it's objectively there. Raise your hands. It's objectively there, you should be able to find it. Going there, you end up seeing the atoms. Tell me, on the atomic level, where is this beautiful flower? Tell me. Just imagine that you go on the atomic level, you just feel it's full of atoms. Individual atoms banging each other, right? And where's this flower? Of course, oxygen is not a flower, it's a gas. Flower is a physical, visual object. So tell me, where is this flower? Anyone?
Is this only consciousness? Is this only consciousness?
Are you sure? Soham.
No, I'm not sure.
What's your name? Soham. Are you sure? You're not sure. Did you have breakfast?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you sure you're okay?
Please, I think I am.
You're not sure. Okay, somebody should take him to hospital. He's not okay because he knows that he's not okay.
Carbon.
No. Carbon is like the let's say either the diamond, the coal, or the pencil, lead pencil, right? They're not beautiful. Okay, where is this flower? On the atomic level, where is it? Okay, Swami is not sure.
It's not there.
Are you sure it's not there?
No.
You're not sure. So I'm only asking those who are sure. Okay, anyone? Where is this? Are you sure? Okay. Okay, Priyanka, tell me.
Nowhere. It's just in our imagination, in our mind.
Are you sure?
Not 100%.
But from this assessment, you're getting some idea like this. So on the object, you see the atoms, and atoms, none of the atoms is beautiful. But I saw something very beautiful. So that is not from the object. From the object, it's just full of atoms. So it's from my mind. Okay, now the next question is, Priyanka, where's your house? Where's your house? Huh? in Calcutta, you locked your safe? Yes, jewelries. You lock the safe, right? Why did you lock it? It's in your mind. Right? Why did you lock it? Okay, look, I'm not challenging. You're getting it? All these must be resolved. Many people, they think that, for example, say when we speak about everything's like a dream, then people throw with these questions which seem so contradictory, and then they think that this philosophy is useless. You're getting it? This philosophy is full of contradiction. It's not contradiction. It's our failure to see this reality more in a nuanced form. You're getting it? So, for example, let's say the one time. Okay, do you know that, for example, say when you use your computer, the computer, there are two things: the hardware and the software. And the software can be, hardware can be extremely sophisticated, but the software can be outdated. You agree? Then what happens? Software, does it work with the sophisticated hardware or not? Extremely outdated software, if you use it in the more sophisticated hardware, does it work or not work? It doesn't work. Now, hardware is extremely outdated and the software is so updated, refined. You put in the hardware, does it work or not work? It doesn't work. So software, if the software is very sophisticated, likewise the hardware should be very sophisticated. You're getting it? So whereas now, this is exactly how our mind works. For example, Heart Sutra, information that we learn from Heart Sutra are in Nagarjuna's text. These are all like this very sophisticated software. And for the sophisticated software to work, our hardware should also be upgraded. You're getting it? So sometimes our hardware is very low quality, backward, right? Many years old computer. And then we are putting the very sophisticated software, it doesn't work. These two are not compatible. And we think that this software is wrong. Software is not wrong. What's wrong? Your hardware needs to be upgraded. You getting it? So while we read the very sophisticated software of Nagarjuna's thoughts, we have to upgrade our hardware also. That is our intelligence. We need to upgrade our intelligence. So we have to constantly engage in this experiment. Without these, you come up with some questions, and then the other person cannot give the answer, and you think that you are smarter than Nagarjuna. This is our illusion. We are being delusional. You're getting it? And some young people, oftentimes when I teach these classes, some young people who are taking Western philosophy, they will say that, oh, Nagarjuna is idealist. Nagarjuna is nihilist. Because I said, how long did you read Nagarjuna's text? They would say, just for 2 days. 2 days reading the Nagarjuna's text and draw a conclusion. Versus these brilliant teachers, brilliant original thinkers study Nagarjuna for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. And for them, the moment they hear Nagarjuna's name, instantly they could feel the goosebumps on their body. Goosebumps. You getting it? Because they could see the wonder, the depth of this philosophy. All these questions are too shallow questions, which may superficially look so attractive, look so powerful to point to the contradiction. There's no contradiction there. So it entirely depends on how deep you can go. If you can go too deep, these questions are very shallow questions. There's nothing profound there. Okay. So the point is that how many of you feel little lost meaning that, That's true. Where's the flower? Which looks so beautiful, objectively so beautiful. Now on the atomic level, it's not really there. Where's the flower? Is on the object or here? Okay, now become a little hazy. Raise hands. You feel a little hazy now. Okay, you cannot 100% say that is from the object. No, you're too confident to say it's coming from the subject. So a little hazy. Good. Raise hands. Good. If you feel a little hazy, this is a step. This is the first step. You move from the ignorance towards the light of the wisdom. This is so precious. Okay, so now you have a question? Yes.
Can we say that the atom within the rose be as a projection of the rose?
Say it again.
Say it again. Can we say that the atom inside the rose is the projection of the rose?
Okay. Say in the first place we're exploring where is a flower? Where is this rose? Where's the rose flower? This is my question. You getting it? What we see is just we see the atoms. We don't see the rose. Where's the rose flower? This is the first question. Then the next question will be, where are the atoms? If the atoms are nothing but made of electrons, protons, neutrons. Even the electrons are not the atoms. So, again, even the atoms also, we see that objectively they are not there, right? Then you may say is a projection of the flower, whatever. So in the first place, we are not finding the flower. Say you said that, okay, I'm a human being on planet Earth, and who's your mother? Right? Your mother's not there, right? A ghost comes, and a ghost says, ghost pretends in the form of Sonam. Say, I'm Sonam, right? And say that, but we know that Sonam is here. Sonam is not in Sikkim at the moment. And there's the ghost who pretended as Sonam, I'm Sonam, and who's the mother? And he's lost. He has no idea. So without mother, how can Sonam come into being? You're getting it? Without a flower, how the atoms come into being? Right? So we're checking where's the flower. If you cannot identify where the flower is, how can you say that the atoms are projected by the flower? Okay. So the response given, in other words, say the question asked by Shariputra is, how should the child of the lineage practice the perfection of wisdom? Then Avalokiteshvara said, the real wisdom is the wisdom to know that nothing exists objectively, that everything is empty of independent reality. Everything is empty of objective reality. This is the wisdom. And if you practice it, then ignorance will be quelled. Once the ignorance quells, the iceberg on which the misery is stacked, the iceberg melts. When the iceberg melts, all the misery stacked on this will crumble down on their own. This is a liberation. Okay, so how many question?
Just to clarify, in Madhyamika Nagarjuna's philosophy, there is no denial of existence. There is only denial of independent existence. And could you just explain that nuance?
Okay, this is a good question. I would say that, Soham, you remind me after we finish reading the Heart Sutra. You're getting it? You remind, this is a very important part. We have to do it. We have to do that part. Don't forget it. Okay, so now you got the 3 points. No, 2 points already. What the 3 points? Not a miss when reading Heart Sutra. Anyone? What is the question? Okay, the Tenzin Pinzola, he's only interested in the formulas, not the detailed explanations. Question, response, and? Okay, these are the formulas, not the details. So he only gives the bullet points. Okay, so what I usually say is that they say, for your ease of remembering things, make bullet points. And then for explanation, contemplating, go into the details. Finally, through the contemplations, your mind should be transformed. Your mind should be transformed. And so for that matter, what we say, this is very important to remember the points. We go on based on the bullet points. At the same time, make sure not to miss the details. So what's the first one, detail-wise? What's the first one? What's the first one? What is the question asked by Shariputra to Avalokiteshvara? Number 2, what is the response given by Avalokiteshvara to Shariputra? What is number 3? What is the benefit if we practice as taught by Avalokiteshvara in response to the question by Shariputra? 3. Okay, now tell me, what is the question asked by Shariputra? How should the child of a lineage practice professional wisdom? Okay, if you look at the text, we see the end of the first paragraph. End of the first paragraph, which reads, what's the page number? 29. Page 29, end of the first paragraph, which reads, second paragraph. End of the second paragraph, which reads, how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom train? This question. Now, response given by Avalokiteshvara, starting from the third paragraph, which reads, he said that, and the Bodhisattva Master of the Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra, Shariputra, any son of the lineage, or daughter of the lineage, who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Everything is empty of true existence, empty of objective existence, empty of independent existence. And then Avalokiteshvara went into great detail, going through you are made of 5 aggregates, you are empty of true existence. Your 5 aggregates are also empty of inherent existence. The 4 noble truths are empty of inherent existence. 12 links of dependent origination are empty of inherent existence. Then the 12 sources are empty of inherent existence. 18 elements are empty of existence. Explain in great detail how nothing in the universe exists objectively real. Everything is like a dream. Okay, what's the third point? What is the benefit if we practice as Avalokiteshvara taught in response to the question by Avalokiteshvara? This you'll find in the next paragraph, next page, second paragraph, starting from second paragraph, which reads, Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment meaning no objective attainment, no inherent attainment, Bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in professional wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. All the fear dissolves by realizing that everything is empty of true existence. Okay, with this, let's recite this Heart Sutra together. Keep in mind the 3 points. 3 points, ready? Let's read together. Heart Sutra, the Professional Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the irrefutable gems. Thus did I hear at one time the Buddha was dwelling on the mass of Valsh's mountain, Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of Bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Avalokiteshvara, looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom should train upon like this, should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness of form. Emptiness is not other than form, and form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, we're reading together. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composite factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element and so on up to and including no mind element, no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, and up to including no aging and death and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, Bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell at the three times also manifestly, completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of perfection of wisdom is declared, Diya Tha Om Gade Gade Bara Gade Bara Samgade Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva should train the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha rose from that concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice a profound perfection of wisdom just as you've indicated, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, those around in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that is spoken by the Buddha. This completes the Arya Bhagavati Prasaparamita Hridaya Sutra. Okay. Now, let us continue from the text. Which page? Page number? 141. Okay. So we read the first verse yesterday, a second verse which reads, the perfect Buddhas, the sources of benefit and happiness, arise from practicing genuine dharma. So what does mean perfect Buddhas? It's not that the Buddha Shakyamuni. Of course, Buddha Shakyamuni is one of them. And each one of us, we also can become Buddhas. We also can reach the same level as the Buddha Shakyamuni. And it is all for that purpose that the Buddha Shakyamuni came on the planet Earth, to help us to become enlightened, that we don't have to suffer, that we can expand our happiness infinitely, and that we can share your wisdom of the infinite happiness and fearlessness to all the other beings. So, the perfect Buddhas, how can somebody become Buddha, which is the source of benefit and happiness, arise from practicing the genuine dharma? So, for example, okay, this is very important. When you speak about the dharma and so forth, it sounds like spiritual, but this is information. It's information. For example, and the information is so important. So we discussed yesterday, what did we say? We need to have the correct information, complete information, and systematic information. The three things is very important for us. So, if you don't get the correct information, then we can go through unnecessary problems. Or how many of you know of such incidents where you get the wrong information and you are in a problem? Presents? Yes, we all have that experience. Next, incomplete information. What happens? With incomplete information, what's the problem? That you think that everything's there, you go there, and then the person sends you back square, what do we call it? Square one, go back to square one, because the information is incomplete, right? And unsystematic, what's the problem? Huh? Your mind becomes clouded, and that you don't grow. With unsystematic, you don't grow at all. So one time, what happened? So therefore, I see that wherever I travel, when I ask questions, to be very honest, there could be some rare exceptions. Otherwise, wherever I travel, when I ask questions, and the answers coming from the people who are doing Narendra courses, answers coming very good, and most likely, I ask, are you doing the Narendra studies? Answer is yes. So what I'm saying is that, say the Narendra, some people, they're too naive. They think Narendra studies mean Tibet house. That's not the case. Narendra, anybody can do Narendra courses from anywhere. Tibet house is just one place. Narendra courses, nothing to do with Tibet house, is the 2000 years of legacy. That is what is being studied everywhere. So this is what I'm saying, systematic study is very important. And sometimes we take it for granted, the information that we're learning. How important that is, I'll share you one incident. I was in class 11. I was in class 11 when many of you were still not born, which means 1986. Raise hands, those who were not born, and 86. Hey, the girl there, not born? Then if you, blue shirt. Are you sure? I'm not saying 2006. Huh? Okay, 1996, I was in class 11, and my maths teacher, he shared a story. My maths teacher said that, what he said was that one day his car broke. His car broke. He took it to the mechanic. And the mechanic opened the bonnet. And with a hammer, he just looked here, there. Finally, he took the hammer and hit the car 3 times. Bang, bang, bang. He started the car. The car works perfectly well. Then my teacher was very happy. Math teacher. He's still in America. Then he asked the mechanic, how much should I pay for this? And just imagine, what did he do? The mechanic just hit the car 3 times. Bang, bang, bang. And he's charged, by today's standard, he's charged with $300. He charged $300. Today is Indian rupees? Huh? 3,000. Oh ho. Huh? 25,000. Right? Okay. 25,000. Just hitting the car 3 times. 25,000. And my teacher was a little upset. And he said that, you just hit the car 3 times with a hammer, and you were charging me $300. He said that I did not charge for hitting the car with a hammer. That's it for free. I charge for, you know how to hit, you don't know where to hit. I charge you for me knowing where to hit. I do not charge you for how to hit. You know how to hit, but you don't know where to hit. This is information which you don't know. I learned it. I'm charging for that information, not for how to hit. You're getting this for free. I hit it 3 times, that's for free, right? It's a complimentary. But where to hit, you don't know that. If you know that, you'll not bring it here. So I charge for that. You're getting this information. So therefore, the Buddha said that those who are wise, who get the correct information, complete information, systematic information, for them the samsara is very short duration. For those who do not have the correct information, the samsara is a long duration. And the Buddha gave a very beautiful metaphor. Long is the night for the sleepless. How many agree with this? When you're sleepless, the night is so long. Raise hands. Trisola? Never had that experience? Yes, you had? Okay. The boy here, your name? Shrikant. You had the experience? Okay. And this boy? You had the experience. Okay. Ajit Sizinla? You had the experience? Okay. And sir, your name? Debashish. Deba or Deva? Debashish. Debashish, long night sometimes? Yes. So long is the night for the sleepless. Long is samsara for the ignorant person. This is what the Buddha taught. You getting it? Okay. So with this in mind, the second verse, which reads, the perfect Buddhas, the source of benefit and happiness, arise from practicing genuine dharma, the correct teaching, which in turn depends on knowing how to practice. So I'll explain the Bodhisattva practices. So, usually I say that some people, my friends, say in some of the places, my friends, they bring their own friends and come to see me. So we met, and my friend said, hey, when you're in Delhi, you have to go to Tibet house. You're in Delhi, you go to Tibet house for teachings, his teachings. I said that don't make things too boring, teaching all the time. When you're in Delhi, please come to have a cup of tea, right? No teaching, cup of tea, enjoy. Okay, what I'm saying is that it's not necessary that everybody should be, listening to teaching. It depends on individuals. People have different inclinations. Some people, they come here just to look at the design, architectural design. They're fascinated. They come here just for that purpose, not interested in teachings. For them, don't force into teaching. Teach them the designs. Some people, they're more interested to know about the Buddha soup, delicious soup. Give them soup, then let them go. You're getting it? So some people are more interested about the Yedharma mantra. What the melody is very beautiful. Let them listen, then let them go. You're getting it? So the thing is that, what do you want? You want to become Buddha. Then you have to learn the techniques to attain Buddhahood. If you want to be freed from miseries, you have to learn the techniques to be freed from miseries. If you want to experience the infinite happiness, you have to learn the techniques to experience the infinite happiness. And if you want to benefit others, you will need to learn how to attain the skills to benefit others. So it says, I'll explain the Bodhisattva practices for those people who want to unfold their Buddha nature completely. You getting it? Those people who want to unfold, to see that your Buddha nature is awakened, that you can stop the tears of samsara for yourself, and it helps stop the tears in others. For those people, I'll explain the Bodhisattva practices. This is the promise that the author made. Okay. Now, verse number 1, which reads, now that you have obtained this precious human birth, say how many human beings are on the planet Earth? Inshallah. 8 billion human beings on planet Earth. And how many insects are on the planet Earth? Huh? The best answer is innumerable. Right? So you don't have the responsibility to say the numbers. Innumerable, infinite insects, infinite animals are there. Just in a tiny, what do you call it? They say in the medical lab, yes, say, petri dish. In the petri dish, in that tiny, the millions and millions are there. Millions and billions are there in that tiny petri dish. So, whole world. And this is not on the planet Earth. You're getting this not on the planet Earth. This is a very tiny dot where the living, the beings inhabit. The innumerable world systems. From the physics point of view, the solar system is a tiny dot in one of the arms of the Milky Way galaxy. And Milky Way galaxy is a tiny dot in the expanse of the universe, the visible universe. And the visible universe is a tiny dot, taking consideration the whole of the universe, visible and the non-visible. Non-visible does not mean that there's some spooky universe out there. No. Simply because the light from the world systems, they cannot come to us yet. They're still on the way. So therefore they're not visible. In that sense, not that there's some spooky universe out there. Okay, so the thing is that from that, considering all these things, the number of human beings, the 8 billion human beings, is just nothing. It's so a small number. It's so small number, and we are one of them. So taking a precious human birth is not that easy. Precious human birth, for example, like say you have the freedom to attend these teachings. I have the freedom to attend these teachings. But how many people, they don't have the possibility even to meet with these teachings? They're deliberately stopped. They're deliberately cut off by some forces, military power or whatever. There are systems to block you from getting access to these precious teachings. Very unfortunate. And in the olden times, say the ladies were cut off from getting access to these teachings, even within the Buddhist communities in the olden times. What are you doing? You are a girl. You have to learn how to milk the cow. You have to learn how to do the dishes, the farming, and so forth. And then don't give chance for the ladies to serve in the Buddhist communities. And about others, number one, these are not available there. Even if they are available, there are some people who deliberately stop you from this information getting into the people. So unfortunate. So from that point of view, the human birth that we have obtained, now we are extremely meritorious. If you want to learn more about what are the attributes, what constitutes the precious human birth. Human birth, 8 billion human beings, they all have the human birth. But the precious human birth, which means that human birth where you can have access to these teachings. That's very precious. And there is a mention of the Telwage Jorochu, the 8 leisures and the 10 endowments. 8 leisures and 10 endowments where you take a birth with these 18 qualities, you have obtained the birth that you've taken is known as the precious human birth. You getting it? Okay. And some of you may be wondering, what are the 18? Okay, I'm not too sure. Otherwise, I can just mention very quickly. Okay, 18. First, let us say the 8 leisures. You have the leisure to practice these precious dharma, 8 leisures. So, the first is that, okay, so the negative sides, non-leisures. You identify non-leisures and then see if you obtain the opposite of these non-leisures. The first is, let's say, the taking birth as an animal. That is a non-leisure. So we're not animals. Then taking birth as the hell beings. In hell, no chance for Dharma practice. Taking birth as a Petra. Petra meaning hungry ghost. Hungry ghost always going to look for food. No time for Dharma. And then say the fourth one is quite scary. Fourth one, taking birth in the long life, amongst the long life devas. Devas meaning celestial beings, god and goddesses, long life god and goddesses. Okay, number 1, taking birth as an animal, hungry ghost, hell being, and the long life god and goddesses. Okay, of course, animals, no chance to understand emptiness, bodhicitta. The hungry ghost, busy, always hungry, acute hunger, pain of hunger, no chance for dharma. Then hell beings constantly suffering with the heat, excessive cold and so forth, no chance for dharma. And long life god and goddesses was a problem. The problem of excessive wealth and excessive ecstasy. This is a hindrance to Dharma practice. Okay, I'm going to share an anecdote of that, the one incident of this. At the time of Shariputra, at the time of Buddha Shakyamuni, the Shariputra, okay, you see that on the 2 sides of the Buddha, there are 2 monks standing. You see that? One on the right side is Shariputra, and the one on left side is yes, Mukuliana, Okay, so in simple accent it is the Mukuliana. And the one is Shariputra Mukuliana too. And why these 2 monks so special? Shariputra is known for his intelligence. It says that amongst the Buddha's disciples, the visible disciples, he is the one with the greatest of the intelligence. And the Mukuliana, why he is important is that he is considered, amongst the disciples of the Buddha, he is the one considered as one with the greatest of the miracle power. So these 2 are very special. Now, what happened was that that Shariputra, there was one particular medical doctor, physician, and he was known as the best of the physicians in those days. And sometimes he is being taken as parallel with the Buddha. Buddha is known as the physician of the mind, and he is known as the greatest physician of the body. So 2 of them are taken as in par. And this physician, he happened to be a student of course the Buddha, plus he was a student of Shariputra. And his devotion to his teacher, Shariputra, is just unbelievable. Say, he is so famous, and he's being invited from one place to other by the kings and so forth, on horses, on the elephants, as a respect for his skills. And the moment from distance he sees his teacher, Shariputra, walking, he would not take time to get off the elephant in a leisure way, but he would jump out of respect for his teacher. That was the amount of respect that he had for his teacher, Shariputra. Then he died. When he died, of course he died. Then he took birth in the heaven. to see the heaven. And Shariputra, through clairvoyance, he came to know that this physician took birth in heaven. So, Shariputra, with his supernatural power, he went to meet men to give teachings to his student, the physician. And the student is born as a god, one of the gods. And the gods, they were lost in the ecstasy. They were lost in the ecstasy of the joy, right? Joy. And Shariputra was waiting on the roadside with the monk's robes and the arms ball with the walking stick, waiting there for a student to come. Earlier, in the previous life, the student would jump, seeing his teacher would jump, even if he is injured, no worries. Now, what happened? The student is taking birth as a god, one of the gods. And all the young gods and goddesses, they were in a chariot. And the chariot was passing by. And Shariputra, through his clairvoyance, he knew that his student was there. Chariot was passing by the main highway. And the other gods, they even did not notice. They were so lost in the ecstasy of the enjoyments of the god that they even did not notice the presence of Shariputra there. But the Shariputra student, who now took birth as a god, so he noticed Shariputra, and Shariputra came just for what purpose? To give teachings to a student. And a student born as a god behaves very different from what he was in his previous life. So, seeing Shariputra there, he waved his hand like this, high and then left. Right? And the other gods, they even did not notice the presence of Shariputra there. And at least in this avatar, or the reincarnation of the physician, he at least noticed, because of the karmic connection. Look, this is a problem. If you take birth in the god realm, this is a problem. Even the great teacher like Shariputra comes, still you are unaware. So therefore, you are far away from these Dhamma practice to attain to awaken your Buddha nature. So that is with respect to what's the problem of taking birth in the long life god and goddesses. Okay, we'll stop here. Deyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisattvas Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisattvas Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisattvas. Okay, we'll come back at 11:30. 3 prostrations together.